Okay, when you think sauna, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Relaxation, right? Steam, unwinding, and yeah, you're not wrong. But what if I told you that inside that little wooden box, there's some serious science happening? Something way more powerful than just chilling out. Let's get into it.
So is it really just about that momentary feeling of bliss? Just a nice little luxury?
Well, you might want to think again, because the science is painting a picture that's, well, it's a whole lot bigger and way more impressive than that.
I mean, check this out. We're talking about something that's been scientifically shown to lower your risk of a fatal heart attack, protect your brain from dementia, actually boost your endurance, and improve your mood. This isn't just fluff. The science here is solid. And it all boils down to one really cool idea.
All right, so here's the big mindset shift. To really get what's going on with saunas, you've got to stop seeing them as just a way to relax. Instead, think of it as a workout. No, seriously, an actual workout for your body all the way down to your cells.
This is where it gets really fascinating. When you're in a sauna, your body's response is almost identical to what happens during a moderate or even intense cardio session. Your heart starts pumping harder, your blood vessels are getting a workout, and your cells snap to attention. It's not just about sweating. You're intentionally putting your body through a good kind of stress.
And there's actually a scientific name for this, hormesis. It's basically the whole what doesn't kill you makes you stronger idea, but for real, on a biological level. A little bit of stress, like from a workout or fasting, or, heat. It flips a switch in your body that turns on all these amazing protective systems. It's how your body learns to get tougher and more resilient.
Okay, so what's actually happening to you in there? Well, first the obvious, your core temperature starts to climb. To deal with that, your heart rate kicks up. We're talking 100 to 150 beats per minute, just like you're on a brisk run. Then, your body does something amazing. It shunts a massive amount of blood, like 50 to 70%, straight to your skin so you can sweat. But here's the real magic. All that heat stress signals your cells to activate their defense shields.
And one of the coolest parts of this defense system is something called heat shock proteins. Dr. Rhonda Patrick explains them perfectly. Think of them as tiny little mechanics or cleanup crews running around inside your cells. Their job is to make sure all the other proteins are folded correctly and not clumping together. Preventing that cellular gunk that can build up and form plaques in places like your arteries or even your brain.
Okay, so a cellular workout sounds cool, but what does that actually do for you in the real world? Well, let's start with the big one, your heart. And for this, we have to look at some amazing long-term studies from Finland, where, let's be real, saunas are practically a national sport.
Get ready for this number because it is absolutely staggering. A massive study that followed over 2,000 Finnish men for 20 years found that the guys using a sauna 4 to 7 times a week had a 50%, that's 50, lower risk of dying from heart disease compared to the guys who only went once a week. Half. That's huge.
And it's not just about preventing the absolute worst-case scenario. The same frequent sauna goers also had a 46% lower risk of developing high blood pressure in the first place. So the sauna isn't just a rescue mission, it's actively helping to keep your entire cardiovascular system in good shape.
And this chart really drives the point home. This isn't random luck. It's what scientists call a dose-response relationship. Basically, the more you do it, the better the results. Look, going 2 to 3 times a week is great. That drops your risk by 27%. But if you can bump that up to 4 to 7 times a week, that benefit almost doubles. The takeaway here is so clear. Frequency is absolutely key.
Okay, so we've established it's amazing for your heart. But that improved blood flow and stronger system, it doesn't just stop there. That same good stress we talked about seems to build a powerful fortress for your brain, helping to protect it as you age.
And if you thought the heart stats were wild, listen to this. That same Finnish study, it found that the guys hitting the sauna 4 to 7 times a week had a mind-blowing 66% lower risk of dementia, 66%, and a 65% lower risk of Alzheimer's. To be clear, this is one of the strongest links ever found between a lifestyle habit and preventing dementia.
So how on earth does that work? Well, it goes right back to what we were talking about earlier. Remember those heat shock proteins, the little cleanup crews? They're helping clear out the gunk that could form plaques in the brain, the very plaques linked to Alzheimer's. Plus, the heat boosts something called BDNF. The easiest way to think of BDNF is like fertilizer for your brain. It helps new brain cells grow and keeps the existing ones healthy, which is crucial for learning and memory.
All right, so we've covered the long game. Heart health, brain health, amazing stuff. But what about right now? What can it do for you this week? Well, if you're an athlete or even just active, you're going to want to listen up. The sauna is becoming a serious secret weapon for performance and recovery.
Let's just look at the raw data. One study took male runners, had them do sauna sessions after their workouts for just 3 weeks, and their time to exhaustion, how long they could run before hitting the wall, jumped by 32%. That's insane, and it's because it increases blood volume, getting more oxygen to your muscles. And for female runners, studies found similar awesome results. They got better at handling heat, their VO2 max improved, and they could hold a faster pace.
And it's not just about performance, it's about bouncing back faster. Another study, this one on infrared saunas, looked at team athletes. What did they find? Less muscle soreness? Sure. But the athletes also felt more recovered, and they kept their explosive power, like their vertical jump, day after day. And what does that all mean? It's simple. If you recover faster, you can train harder and get better. Faster.
Okay, the science is incredible, right? But the big question is, how do you actually use this information? What's the right way to do it to get these benefits safely? Let's get into the practical side of things, your sauna prescription.
First off, not all heat is the same. You've got your classic Finnish sauna. That's the super hot, dry one. Then there's something called Wajan therapy, which is big in Japan. It's a bit milder, and you rest all wrapped up afterward. And then you have infrared saunas, which use light to heat your body directly. They run at a lower temperature, which can make it easier to stay in for longer.
But you know what? No matter which type you use, the rules of the game are pretty much the same. Rule number 1, frequency is everything. The science is screaming at us 4 to 7 times a week is the sweet spot for those huge health benefits. Rule number 2, time in the heat matters. The studies showed that sessions over 19 minutes were way more beneficial. Rule 3, and this is a big one, hydrate. Seriously, drink tons of water, maybe even some electrolytes because you're losing a lot of it. And finally, just be smart about it. Don't drink alcohol before you go in. If you have any heart conditions, please talk to your doctor first. And pregnant women and little kids should be extra cautious.
So, it all comes back to that simple, hot wooden box, an ancient tradition that people have been using forever. But what science is showing us now is just how powerful it really is. It's not just about relaxing. It's a tool, a way to literally exercise your cells. And it just might be one of the simplest, most powerful things you can do for a stronger body, a sharper brain, and a longer, healthier life.